Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Still have a minute, so let's see. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Yes, no delays in my, because we've got a new internet. I'm now wondering how it does.
No delays.
Okay, cool.
You moved?
Yes, we did. We actually did. Yeah. I can.
In both of you, I think.
Yes. I'm now looking at. Wait, give me a second. I can actually show you. See, this is technology nowadays. This is now like where you are.
Hey, nice.
My office window, my big plant, and some lights. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yes.
It looks like a nice place.
It is. It really is. Let me see.
It's in Switzerland.
It's in Switzerland. Yes, we are in close to Bodensee, which is Lake Constance.
It's really funny. I fell in the Bodensee when I was a little kid.
Yes.
That's why I know it.
Nice. Yeah. I think it's a really great place to visit.
Good morning.
Good morning. I think it's just stunning because it's an expression of having a thought and then it becomes a reality, as so many things are, right? And I came back from Vienna and I said, like, I really want to have a nice office and I really want to have more space. And 2 weeks later, that's exactly where we landed, with a nice office and more space. So sometimes those things really work in mysterious ways. All righty. Are you guys, like, is my internet connection stable? Because I'm just trying to figure out if I need like an extra thing for my office to get the Wi-Fi signal in with.
For me, it's perfect.
Okay. Wonderful.
Interruptions or not?
Perfect. All right.
You live now in Switzerland.
I do since July.
Yeah, but you moved in Switzerland.
I moved in Switzerland, exactly.
Okay. Nice.
Yes. I was just showing around like secret in the office.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And it's also sunny in Switzerland.
It is, yeah. I think all around Europe at the moment, as it seems like.
Not too really in the US.
No. But in Czech, is it sunny? Belgium sunny?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
See, it synchronizes more and more, it seems.
Yeah.
Great. Hey, 30 minutes. Let's go. You might have questions, you might have topics, you might have things you want coaching on, some input on, some questions.
Yeah, I want to ask you a question about a proposal for proposing like a year agreement.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a client. She had done like 5 sessions, and this week she has her 6th. And I already proposed like continuing our work together.
Yeah.
And I sent her by email the proposal, but she didn't respond yet. Is it something I can pick up directly in the beginning, like in the coaching session, or do I wait?
Okay, just for me to get it straight. You talked to her and she said she wants to do the year?
I said I work normally after 6 sessions, like a half year or a year. So I proposed directly like a year. She didn't respond at this moment.
Did you, like, was there a conversation before you said that via email?
Yeah, I said, what do you think about working together for the rest of the year? working, and she said, yeah, she feels like wants to work together.
Yeah.
So that's why I proposed like directly like a year, but
And then what did she say?
I didn't say like, yeah, I said I will propose something on email, and she said, okay, I will check it out.
Yeah, I don't do that.
No,
No.
you talk directly about it.
Yeah, I don't want to write a proposal that I didn't got like confirmation on in a conversation. I mean, can you now pick it up in a conversation if that's your question? Yes, but just something to get here. I don't propose outside of a conversation. I can send what we discussed in the conversation afterwards to clarify, or sometimes when people ask me about a program that I have, then yes, I send them the details because they're publicly available. But if I do like a one-on-one work, I don't do that outside of conversation. And one of the reasons why is because in a conversation you can pick up the reaction and you can clear out anything that's in the way.
Yeah.
So when let's say when I'm talking to Daniel, right, and actually I sent him a message yesterday, so we can use that one. Like if I get him on the phone, then I'm saying like, hey Daniel, it would be fantastic for you to come to the next Being Business Intensive. Daniel might be like, yeah, it would be great, right? And I'm like, hey, I'm hearing hesitation. What's it about?
Yeah.
And he's like, Moritz, right now there's a lot going on, and da. So I'm hearing it, and I'm like, okay, interesting. And what's your thought on the intensive? Do you think it could be useful for you? Yes, I think so. Okay. So would you be willing to see like how we could clear out the things that are in the way? Or is it a no for now? Right? Like I really like to be in that conversation non-attached. That's very hard via email. Email gives you like one-way street. They read it, they have one reaction, and then that's the reaction. There is no, then I wait until they write the email back, or I wait until I have the next conversation. So I personally, I don't like doing that via email.
Yeah.
With corporates, it's a bit different because there's less less humanity involved in my experience.
Yeah, it's like that, but it was more like I think because I didn't know the price that I would propose already, so I said I will write it down, like that. But yeah, it's an offer of more than 2,000 euro. I think it's better to communicate it directly because yeah, there's a lot going on in someone's head.
Yeah, and I don't like to wonder. Like for me personally, I don't like if there's one thing that really changed in my coaching journey, like that I continue to, you could say, improve on, it's my tolerance for wondering. It decreased by a lot. Like if I have a client and I'm wondering like, hey, are you still fully in the coaching? Guess what I do? I'll write them a message asking, hey, are you still fully in the coaching? Right? Because I don't like sitting there with my thoughts wondering, when will they respond? Why aren't they? What is going on? Like, I don't like that space. Why? It leaves a lot of space for the mind to create drama.
Yeah.
And I'd rather be in direct communication too. That's, I mean, now it is like it is, right? Like you sent the email and so forth. And do you have a next conversation scheduled with her?
Yes, tomorrow we have our last session.
Okay.
So will I pick it up in the beginning of the session, what I proposed, or shall I wait till the end because it's her last session? Can it be like a part of the session?
Yeah. Again, like that's just my way how I like. Ask her.
Now you were frozen.
Okay. See, I was wondering about this internet.
I think for the other ones it was the same.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So let's figure this out. I would probably ask her in the beginning if she has 5 minutes at the end to discuss the matter. Why? Because I like to have the coaching that they paid for be a separate conversation to the proposal or continuing work conversation.
Yeah.
That's just how I like to handle it, but you can totally ask it in the session. Like I had many people who do it this way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would mention it in the beginning because otherwise you continue to wonder.
Yeah. I'm curious what our thoughts are. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Great. Complete.
Yeah, I have to respond again on the things I wrote in the school about
Yes.
about things that really what I really care for. I was wondering a lot. I think also in the bigger picture, more long term than 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
For the things that came in my vision last couple of years, and so I will respond to that too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And is this a new conversation that you put in the community? Because then I might not have read it, or is it like
No, I have to respond on it.
Okay. Okay.
So I
Great.
will
Good.
Yeah.
Then you will respond. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else? Anyone else? Daniel.
Okay, it will be like the money conversation you mentioned or I mentioned yesterday. Yeah, the basic situation is yeah, I like the idea to attend being business, and still one thing I try to like more figure it out is yeah, I feel more like that I don't have controls so much about like finance right now. Like that it's I could like say now it's like taxes I will pay, and it's more like on the like I end with zero because also I want to focus more on social media presence that later I can propose some programs there, and I'm not focusing so much on getting new clients. So it's like the monthly budget goes more on the like zero, like end with zero, not some with like more money to invest in other education, I would say.
Yeah. And what's the question in that?
The question is, maybe there's like two questions. One question is because I think it's also some like pattern. I want to have more like budget where I have like money for investing in education, which is I can use it, and it's in a situation like that I have some like side money that I can use it. And why? And this is happening quite often in some cycle. We were talking about, yeah, you got money and you invest it immediately without maybe creating some budget. And second is maybe just like brainstorm, wondering where I could create that money, like for big business.
Look, here's the point. Do you have enough money to pay your bills?
Yes, but it's like like in the end of month, it's like zero.
Yeah, but
or a little bit under.
Are you able to pay the bills?
Yes.
Yes. So here's the funny thing. I very seldom worked with a client who had the budget for coaching.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
let me see. Give me 1 second. I try to go back to my phone internet because this is not working out well. Okay, am I clear now?
Yes.
Okay, so I said I very seldom.
I don't know the word seldom.
Okay, not often. The opposite of often, like very few times. Worked with a client who had the budget for coaching, right? And here's the thing, it makes sense because nature uses what's needed for whatever is needed. Like, you don't see a cat training for something that could happen in the future, right? You see a cat responding to her need for food, you see her responding to her need for mating. You don't see her like practicing mating and practicing hunting, like when there's no need for that, right? So that's just one thing to contemplate. Did you always have enough money to pay for the things that you really wanted to pay for?
You know that I didn't.
Yes. And in the end, did you pay for the things that you then committed to paying for?
Mm. Haha. I put in some stories and I forgot the question.
Okay, so I can just look for myself. When I started my coach training, I didn't have the budget for coaching, for the training. So I created it because I really wanted to do that coach training. That was the same with my shiatsu training. It was the same with all the other things that I did. I usually didn't have it before I committed to doing it. That's one thing. Now, I'm not saying to people, you should do it or you shouldn't, but it's simply to start looking. Did you, in the end, actually have enough money to pay everything that you had to pay? My guess is yes, unless you have a massive amount of debt accumulated from your life. But I think, I don't know, maybe you're not sharing that part of your life, but so far I haven't heard that, right? So that's one. Okay. Now, yesterday I had a really fun coaching session with a client. Because that client was sitting there and they were sharing how they're now really focused on saving some money, and then we walked through what the business needed. I think I shared maybe a story about it because he needed funding for the business, and then he made like 67 phone calls to get funding, like to get investment, and 66 people said no. And the 67th said yes to give 50,000. And that was really what he needed. Okay, so long story short, he's like, yeah, the business works right now, but privately, I still have outstanding debt that I need to pay back. Okay. And I'm like, okay, great, let's work on that. And he's like, yeah, you know, I was thinking of doing a part-time job to pay that back. I'm thinking about doing some, you know, like I could work in a coffee, I could work there. I'm like, okay, how much will you make like an hour? Yeah, we'll make like 25 bucks an hour there. Okay. Okay. So just help me understand this. How much money can you make when you're so focused in your business right now is to make money for like if I give you 3 days, because that was what he was contemplating, working 3 days a week in a different job to get the money to pay back whatever he had outstanding. I'm like, but if you 3 days and your sole focus is to make money in your business, how much money could you make? And he's like, oh, I don't know. Could you make 5,000? Yeah, I think so. Great. Would you make 5,000 in a part-time job? No. Okay, great. And then we started, then we had a funny conversation because I shared something that I think we did, Danielle, in the retreat, right? And I shared with him about the money game. And I shared the story about the money game. And I shared how I had to play the money game when I did my coach training. And he's like, oh yeah, crazy story. And I said, look, we have 35 minutes left on the clock. Make money. Now, in 35 minutes, when I came back to the room, he started reporting how much money he made. He made 40K in 35 minutes. 40K. And before he was telling me about needing a job, that it was so difficult, that he had this and that he had to take care of that. Now, you get what you focus on. And here's the thing. I know that another guy I know managed to make the money for his wedding in a day. And the same guy is telling me now about money problems. Now, I don't know if it's a question of ability or if it's a question of focus. And that's for you to see.
I don't know if like for me, like I know that if I wouldn't have like no clients and have that like more time, I know that it's. I just want to.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Sure. What's the thought? And because now I think that I don't have so much, like I don't have like capacity to get more new clients. Maybe one client.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
So I'll give you another story. I'll give you another story. Just to poke the boundaries of your thinking right now. When I was working with Ankush, he then chose to work with Steve Hardison, right? And he was like, I have to make an extra 200K, right? To pay for Steve Hardison. And he was telling me this, and he said, like, and Moritz, you know, like I'm full. I have 20 clients right now. I can't take any more clients. So what I started thinking is like, what are other creative ways that I don't, because I also have a commitment to my wife and my son. I don't want to work more. But what are other creative ways that I could go for that would allow me to make more money? Right? And then he was sharing his thoughts and he was sharing this and that. Now, here's what he did in the end. What he did was he created a 3-day event where he invited all his clients to come together. They all paid him a couple thousand, and afterwards said it was the best retreat they ever experienced. He didn't get new clients. It was all people that he knew. He didn't create a crazy amount of work. It was like 3 days that he spent with them. And he did it this way. He rented a hotel room 2 minutes walking distance from his house. And that's where he created the whole event. Now it made him, I think, an extra 25, 30K. And I was like, that's great. So what else could I do? Now, I'm not saying you have or you should or you shouldn't do any of that stuff, but just get to know the limits of your thinking around money, because we all fall into this trap. We think it has to be hard. We think it's going to be more work. We think it's going to be more time. It doesn't have to be.
Hmm.
I have to apologize, Marit, because I have a session in 5 minutes.
No worries.
See you tomorrow.
See you.
Yeah.
See you.
See you all. Have a nice day.
Mhm. Yeah, the stories like resonates with me, like definitely.
Yeah. Maybe that's all that's needed right now, Danny.
Mm. Yeah, like for me, like the like still like presence, but it like definitely it would be like more hard, more time consuming. One is also that I need to be like more responsible because
Blah, blah, blah. So here's a great question. What would be fun if you think about creating something? What could be fun? I give you
when
one
it's like
thing. Sorry, go ahead.
like fun. I would enjoy that I would have like some clients working more like half years, like not this 5-10 sessions, but half years.
Yeah, great.
That's I can like propose my clients. And second is I like doing some kind of retreats,
Yeah.
and I would enjoy do some more like easy to organize retreats.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'll give you a crazy idea.
Yeah.
You could, I was just saying you could create a half-day workshop in Brno about creative ways to create more money in your life. And you could charge, I don't know, like $200 per person. And then you explore all the ways that they can make more money. And here's the funny thing, when you help other people to make more money, guess what you will make? More money.
Actually, it would be like fun idea, and I was like last year I was thinking about this kind of topic quite a lot, and it's
And
maybe
then
more
you
like
got some thinking, and then you fell onto, I'm not even good with money, and I'm like, oh my God. And then it's like, and I'm not responsible enough, and I'm messing up some meeting times, and this integrity, I really need to take integrity really, really seriously, because how can I, and That's like all stuff that we do. I don't know if that's exactly the thoughts that you did, but that's all stuff that I did to myself. Might be really, really worth, this is for everyone watching the recording and for you too, to read again and read often the quotation of Werner Erhard about power, right? There are two things we do as humans to take away our own power. One is reasonableness, having reasons for why not, why this, why that, why blah, blah, blah. It's so funny, no? Wait, is it? No, it's not working. Anyhow, reasonableness, and the other one is timeliness. Now is not the right time because now you have both of them, right? Every time you do that, you impede the velocity with which you translate intention into reality. Now, I give you just a crazy thought, Danny. In the moment that you thought, hey, coming to the Being Business Intensive, I would actually really like that. And all your thoughts since yesterday would have been about how you can create an extra 2-3K in your business without working more. You would have come to this meeting with 20 ideas. Now we could discuss 20 ideas about how you could do that. But that's not what we tend to do. That's why we have this conversation. What we tend to do is have all the reasons for why we stay stuck in the old world that we're in. And my old world is really like, it's hard to make money. I'm not good with money. That's a conversation I invested years into. And then it's like, I first have to kind of prove that I'm good enough to make more money. So then I'm getting busy proving it instead of just making more money. Like my client did yesterday. Instead of like telling us, he's like, yeah, but it's already 6 p.m. in the evening and people don't work right now. I'm like, okay, let's 35 minutes. I don't care about that stuff. In 35 minutes, they're gonna come back and you're gonna report to me how much money you made. You take away all the reasons. Okay, I'm gonna leave you with that, Daniel. We're on time.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and we're gonna talk tomorrow. And if there is anything, you have my WhatsApp. You can reach out there. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.